Las noticias nos están diciendo demasiadas cosas. The news are saying a lot of things, but guess what? The news many times just want to bring you into fear. And we don't want you to be at fear when it comes to purchasing your home. This is the reason why we're having a precious interview today for you not to only understand what really is going on, but for you to learn when and how to give the next step. We start in Christy, la Realtor de Nashville, right now. I'm here with Joseph Chappell from Rate 100, y quiero que ustedes pay a lot of attention. We're gonna do this kind of like in the Spanglish, but he speaks more English than anything else. And we're gonna try for you guys to understand it. We're gonna have the caption down here because we want you to make sure that you understand everything, whether English or Spanish, and exactly what to do. Because the most important thing for us is for you to have a roof over your head and for you to stop renting. So Joseph, thank you so much for saying yes to this interview.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Okay, Joseph, let's just start with what really is going on with this Trump administration that is on May 25th going to not let me purchase a home. But something happened earlier than this administration that many newscasters are not saying and are putting fear in our audience.
I love the quotation. I think it's great. Now, first of all, let's focus on what the ultimate goal is. The ultimate goal is for everybody from every background that comes to this country that wants to be part of the society to become a homeowner. There is no bigger pleasure and bigger wealth that you can build other than through home ownership. I'm an immigrant myself.
Me too.
You're an immigrant yourself. This place has given me a proverbial roof over my head 29 and a half years ago. I've been blessed that my family's here. And to tell you the truth, it is disheartening to see that there is a panic set about amongst the communities, whether it's a Hispanic community, whether it's a Latino Hispanic community, whether it's European community, it doesn't matter where you're from. Yes, every country's got its laws. I'm not a politician, nor do I plan on getting into politics. But one thing I will tell you is that the panic needs to calm down. There are many products, many different products. And that's where I think people get confused. They think mortgage is just a mortgage. It's not. Just like there are many flavors of ice cream, there are many flavors of mortgage.
But I thought one size mortgage will fit everybody. Because when I call Christy, I want to ask her, how much do I have to pay for my house? I need to know right now, Christy, how much? And it's not that easy. Why? Because I always tell this to my audience. When I go to the doctor, if I have a headache, but I have high blood pressure, my medicine is going to be different than Joseph's because he has diabetes.
Yep.
So please, my darling audience, por favor, pongan atención. This is not exactly just a one-size-fits-all. So you guys have to pay really close attention to what we're about to say, because my early question for Joseph was, well, what programs do you have that are going to be beneficial for our clients? And he said, Christy, how many hours do you have? Because I have more than 400. So I don't want to confuse you. You're not going to stay in my channel for that long, but I want you to know that there's options.
Yeah, we don't want to put people to sleep, right? So the idea is that an average consumer it needs to spend enough time to educate themselves on the biggest purchase of their life. This is not a car. We're not buying a tractor. We're not buying a vehicle. We're not buying something of lesser value. A home is actually one of the only tools that we have in this country for an average American, for an average citizen or non-citizen, a tool to build wealth. So there are going to be many opportunities and many tools to do so. Just like some people put money in stocks and bonds, some people put money in cryptocurrency. People earn their wealth in many different ways, but home ownership is home ownership. So one size does not fit all. You have investors, you have people that buy to rent. You have people that purchase to have a second home. You have people that buy for generational wealth.
Flipping.
Everybody does it differently. So we can't say that an adjustable rate mortgage that's fixed for 5 years is going to be applicable to somebody who wants to stay there for 30 years. It all depends. Everyone should take the time and talk to the mortgage professional. Not panic. Just because something in the news says that there's a tsunami of bad things coming our way doesn't mean it's happening.
But Joseph, I froze because my neighbor told me that I cannot purchase anymore. And I called Christy and I told her, Christy, let's just keep it on hold because May 25th, everything is going to change. What do we tell to those people?
So here's the thing. So first of all, May 25th, May 26th is being tossed out. FHA, part of HUD, obviously, Housing Urban Development, they have implemented rules that have actually kind of been in place for a long time. They've had certain opportunities outside of those rules that they've kind of cut short. It's really not news. It's not just one administration versus another. It doesn't matter. They have rules that they're trying to implement. It changes every 4, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, it doesn't matter. But there are hundreds of products available at anyone's disposal if they educate themselves. As a matter of fact, if they call you to come and buy a house, you should be their conduit, you should be their resource for gathering information and educating them and calming them down. Why do we go to a doctor? To fix the problem.
Exactly,
right?
to fix the problem.
So if you have anxiety, you go to a doctor calms you down. Some doctors will pump you with medications. Some will say, hey, just eat less salt, right? So in this case, I think everybody needs to relax on the salt a little bit. We need to calm down and just focus on the future. Everything will be fine.
Okay, so let's talk now about those people that are ready. They did their taxes. They did pay their debt, but their credit score is not so hot. It's not very high.
What is considered a hot credit score?
Well, sometimes people auto-disqualify themselves and they say, my credit is not perfect, therefore I cannot qualify. Some people say, my credit is less than 600, I cannot qualify. What do we tell them? That besides educating themselves, there is hope. I want them to know from the bank.
Yeah, so there are credit events in somebody's life that determine what your credit score is, right?
Even if somebody has a bankruptcy?
Absolutely. So why did that person have a bankruptcy? Maybe they had a death in the family. They had to pay for a lot of different funeral costs. We can't judge anybody, right? We don't have a right to judge or prejudge somebody. Same way that someone might feel like they're down on their luck and their credit is not sufficient to buy, but they're hardworking, they earn a paycheck, they know they can save money, but they had gone through a difficult event in life. All they got to do is just raise their hand and ask questions. We have the product. We've closed loans for people with a 500 credit score. We've closed loans for people that are a month out of a bankruptcy. You have multiple variations of bankruptcies. You have Chapter 7s, Chapter 11s, Chapter 13s, different types of bankruptcy, businesses or personal, whatever the case is. Don't assume you can be a homeowner and partake in the dream. Ask. I don't assume that you mentioned earlier that if my feet swell that I have diabetes. I don't assume that. I go to a doctor. I don't assume that if my heart's beating faster that it's anxiety. I go to a doctor. You have to get an opinion on a matter. Difference in finance opinions and medical opinions, of course, there are big differences, right? But both can be pretty harmful to you. So you have to take the time to educate yourself, and the best way to do it is go to the experts in the field. If they come to you, then you can come to us or another mortgage professional and ask them the opinion. Say, hey, listen, what do you think we can do to help this family become a homeowner and partake in a wealth building process that every American wants to have?
And one of the interesting things, people, is that if you don't ask, you're never going to learn. If you don't educate yourself, you're never going to change the tree of your family to be able to own a home in this wonderful country that has opened the doors for you, for him, and for me. So please, let us help you. We are not going to charge any money for you to call us, for you to knock on our doors in our offices and say, I need to learn what are my possibilities. And let me tell you one more thing. You might not be ready right this very second, but we want to guide you through the process for you to be ready in 3 months, in 6 months, maybe perhaps next year. But at least you know exactly what to do. And please stop listening to the neighbor that is renting even more so than you and for more years than you. You have to, do you take advice from somebody that is overweight in how to lose weight? I don't think so. So if he's renting and you're renting, you need to go look for somebody else that can tell you exactly the things that you have to do or stop doing in order for you to become a homeowner. And we have this wonderful office, rate 100%. And in Spanish, by the way, porque yo sé que me está escuchando mucha gente en español. Contigo 100%. So we want you guys to know that we're doing this interview in English with the subtitles, but of course in Spanish, because we want to reach to all those people out there that really, really want to know what to do and what not to do, and stop the fear and stop watching the news.
I will leave you with this. Here's one fact. What is the interest rate on rent?
Oh my gosh, 100%.
And that's not the kind of 100% that we want.
And that's what I tell people. You guys are saying interest rates are too high, I'm going to keep waiting. Well, keep paying 100% on rent, because that is flushing your money on the toilet. So let's find you. Yes, please do so. This is your time. This is best for you and your family. So we wait for you guys to call us, 813-531-3478. That's my phone number. And then we will get you in touch with these wonderful people that have more than 400 different products for your financial roof illness, and we will help you.
Gracias.
Habló en español. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Choto.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.